welcome back. All right, so just in case you're new watching one of our series here, it's very, very important to unmask your car, your freshly painted car, about, I would say, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours after your paint job. Okay, 2.5 to 3 hours is an ideal time because you want to start unmasking, especially if you're masking up your headlights and your moldings and things like that. You want to start unmasking before it's completely cured. Why? Because if it's completely cured, you really risk the chance of peeling your paint off if your masking tape is very close on certain areas. All right, so not a lot of people talk about this at all. In fact, I haven't heard any painter, professional painter or DIY painter on YouTube or anywhere talk about this. Okay, so it's very, very important. If you're doing a garage paint job, professional paint job, whatever, okay, it's good practice to unmask your car. If you have masking paper on anywhere of it, okay, doesn't matter if you're doing base coat, clear coat, or single stage enamel like this job here, okay, a couple hours after your paint, okay. Of course, the paint should not be tacky. It should be dry to the touch, like as you're grazing it with the back of your hands. Okay, but if you push it with your finger, of course, it's going to make a fingerprint, right? Because it's still setting up. Okay, so keep that trick in mind. What we did here was we sanded our headlights down with 800 grit, and then we're just shooting 2 coats of clear on it. We're using the X27 spray gun with the Gun Bud Ultra lighting system. You can see how it makes it so much easier to see. Here's the second coat here. My friend Tony here is just whacking it for me with some clear coat. And all you have to do to prep plastic lenses like this is sand it down with 800 grit and put 2 coats of clear on it. Okay, and this will hold up for many, many years to come. And that's how you do it. How you turn dingy headlights to looking like brand new. I've been doing this for about 20 years now. Okay, it's a long hidden secret. Now people are talking about it. I've been doing this before people were even talking about this stuff. Okay, in fact, I was probably one of the first YouTube videos out there sharing this information. And then a lot of creators came out making more videos about this. Okay, so here what we're doing is we're spraying our front grille with Plasti Dip. Okay, now when it comes to spraying Plasti Dip in a can like this, you don't have to actually sand the product down. Okay, especially if you want to peel it off. Okay, for me, I just clean this front grille down and we're just going to spray it with Plasti Dip to give it that flat matte look. And then we're also going to do all the other pieces on the car with Plasti Dip, and those other pieces I ended up sanding down because we had some primer overspray on them. You'll see that in just a bit. And we just sprayed everything with flat black Plasti Dip to just make it look even, because the whole color scheme of this car was to be that, that quicksand color from the Toyota Tacoma that we painted, and then black. So it's just black in this color. So the decals that we do are going to be like a flat black as well. It's just going to look total, black and tan. That's the whole look of the car, and I think it's coming out very, very nice. You can see we're doing the mirrors as well, all the trim, flat black in this Plasti Dip, and I hope you are liking the project so far. All right, sometimes when spraying Plasti Dip, you're going to get like a big splatter, like just because of the nozzle. The way the spray can nozzles are, sometimes they're not the best, right? You're going to get like, there you go. You can kind of see this big drips right there. So all I do, okay, is just glaze it with your finger, kind of flatten it out, and then just retouch it up as you're painting. So that actually helps it, see? I just flatten it out, and then this stuff actually dries very, very flat and even. It really settles in. Okay, it flows out. So sometimes it might look orange peely while you're painting, but let it dry and it actually fills out and it looks pretty good. All right, just a tip. So here are the roof rails and some just plastic trim that goes around the car, the windshield wipers and all. Just make sure you clean it. I use purple power, whatever degreaser they sell at like Costco's or whatever. You could use simple green. I used to use a product called Oil Eater. They don't really make it anymore, but just a degreaser to take the grime off, the dirt and the grime. And then what I'm doing here is, because we had some overspray on it, was I'm just feathering it out with 400 grit, and then we're gonna whack this with our Plasti Dip, all the products. Okay, let it dry good for a few hours. If you want to speed up the process of drying, you could just get an air hose and just blow it out, dry it up quickly, and then whack it with your Plasti Dip. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just gonna wash this down, Plasti Dip it, let it dry, and put it back on the car. So after this part is done, what we're going to be getting into is doing the Raptor liner on the bottom section of the car. Okay, so we're going to mask out our design where we want it, and then we're going to go ahead and sand it and then spray our Raptor liner. So this is me just giving it a couple of coats of Plasti Dip super quickly. Sorry about the camera angle. Sometimes you don't get the best shots with the GoPro on your head, but you get the idea, right? Everything's pretty much painted. Here is the windshield wipers, just giving that a coat as well. That's the front window trim. Front window trim. Okay, so here we got the car masked up with fine line tape, followed with painter's tape on top of that to give us, a little bit more space to do our masking. But what I'm doing right now is just using a 240 grit dry sand, and we're just scuffing up all the areas where we're going to be getting our rhino line. So you can see I'm getting very close to that fine line tape there, because we need the Raptor liner to stick onto something. So take your time, sand it, don't damage your fine line tape. Okay, if I were to do this again, I would probably do the Raptor liner first, okay, before painting the car. So basically have the car ready for paint, mask it up with my fine line tape, and tape up the upper section of the car. I would do the Raptor liner on the bottom part. Okay, wait 2, 3, 4 days, let that dry good, then mask the Raptor liner, okay, toward the bottom, and then spray the single stage or base coat clear coat on top of it. Why do I say this? Because in one area on the front bumper cover, I wasn't able to get good footage of it, but because of the thickness of the Raptor liner, the material spraying it on, it kind of ate up a little bit of my single stage and made it bubble on the bumper cover a little bit. Very little, not super noticeable where it's a big deal. It's actually still fine now. It's, a couple weeks after we painted it. But another option would be to spray it on lightly, or again, do the Raptor liner first, okay, then spray the color, okay. There's no wrong or right way. It's just you do it, you see what works, and it is what it is. So next time I do this, I'll probably do the Raptor liner first, mask it up, and then do the color of the car on top of it. Okay, it's tricky because you got two different materials, two different paints, on a fine line, right? But this actually worked out really well. Okay, so I'm not saying this way didn't work out. It worked out really well. It's just that sometimes when you lay a paint product on very thick, there's a lot of solvent in it and it reacts.